If you guys know me, one of my favorite games of all time is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, okay? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, okay? We have an official update. I had this on my saved on Twitter. I was going to talk about it, but I trust my boy fucking 100% Star Wars more to cover this. Yo, Moon, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the stream. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you a ton. How'd you find the stream, if you don't mind me asking? They need to pull the plug. Shits on life support, Joshua. Okay, just okay. Do you like that little mod rule you got there, pal? Okay. But anyways, I love KOTOR so fucking much, and there's actually some positive news finally for this. Finally. But yo, Moon, thank you again for the follow. I appreciate you. Commando, thank you again for coming over from YouTube. You're a fucking real one. Arl, you too, homie. Obviously, shout out to all the fucking OGs chilling out in here tonight. I appreciate y'all motherfuckers. I said it last night. I appreciate you guys. And I said it earlier, I think, too.
So for the first time in nearly 2 years, we have technically
found me on YouTube? Oh my god, Moon, you're a fucking real one. I'm glad you're doing good. What video did you find me from?
We just received our first official update in regard to the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
What's up, bro?
I consider to be a direct capacity. There have definitely been times when people have spoken about the KOTOR remake, but in a more unofficial capacity, such as the CEO of Embracer, but they would never respond to questions directly about the game with direct answers. It was more like insinuations. However, today, the CEO of Saber Interactive, who took over development of the game from Aspire in 2022, was directly asked about...
Oh, fuck yeah, Moon. Thank you so much for coming over. I appreciate you a ton. You're a fucking real one. By the way, Moon, I always ask... Oh, I think I forgot to ask Commando and Arl this. What's some of your guys' favorite games right now? And then also, who's some of your favorite content creators? So I'm glad to hear it, Laz. Welcome back, Sorrow. Oh, why did I say his name like Joshua? Because he's pooping on one of my favorite games of all times being remastered. Okay, dude? I'm gonna have to fight him. Joshua, I'm going to throw hands at you now. Type shit.
The KOTOR remake, and for the first time, directly responded. Now, if you're not entirely aware, a few weeks ago, Saber Interactive was sold by Embracer in a deal worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And with that sale, there was a lot of speculation as to whether Saber would continue to develop the Knights of the Old...
Dude, I gotta play the fucking what is it? Was it 2016 Spider-Man? Is that the one that's on Steam right now? Someone gifted it to me. I'm gonna play that at some point soon.
Old Republic remake. Industry insiders at the time had claimed that Saber had taken the remake with them, and there was a more significant clue in the press release for the sale, which stated that all licenses that Saber were working on at the time would be included in the sale. But of course, the thing is, the Knights of the Old Republic remake was never directly mentioned by name. A lot of the time it was alluded to as a major licensed IP or something along those lines.
Lilith, I appreciate you. You're very fucking kind of me. You're a fucking real one.
So while we could speculate and come to a very reasonable conclusion that they were talking about the Knights of the Old Republic remake, there was no official confirmation in that sense. However, last night, IGN posted an article stating they had an interview with the CEO of Saber Interactive.
Oh my god, bro. I can't believe this shit was in 2021, bro, and it's 2024 now. That was 3 years ago. Oh my god, I'm so old.
Arch, to speak about the sale in general, their experiences with Embracer.
Yo, Commando, no fucking worries at all, bro. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for hanging. Feel free to stop in anytime. I usually go live sometime between 9 and 11 p.m. EST. I won't be live tomorrow, but we'll be live Friday night and possibly Saturday. I'm not sure if I'll be live Saturday, by the way, chat. But feel free to tap in our Discord if you want to know when I'll be live next. Appreciate you, dude, a ton.
The games that were in their pipeline, and of course, the future for the studio. And at the time of making this video, the full interview hasn't yet released, but they released a snippet of it in regard to the section where they talk about the Knights of the Old Republic remake. And in this interview, the CEO confirmed to...
Genshin and Lethal Companies are games I currently really like. Dude, I know all of chat, whenever I say I'm going to play a little bit of Genshin, are all like, Chris, why the fuck would you do that? But I feel like I got to try it just to know so I can relate to motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And Lethal Company's so much fun. Have you seen that new game that's out? Josh, what's that game that you tried to get me into? That was like, oh yeah, I'll get it at some point. But then it was, I could have kept it for free, but I didn't because I missed it.
IGN that Saber Interactive did indeed take the Knights of the Old Republic remake after the split with Embracer. Now, of course, for some reason, everything around this game is obscure, so Matthew didn't say much in regards to its
Matthew didn't say much.
status, or if anything had changed, or the exclusivity. However, he is on quote saying, "It's clear and it's obvious that we're working on this. It's been in the press numerous times, and what I
Matthew?
will say is that the game is alive and well, and we are dedicated to making sure we exceed consumer expectations." So in this interview, he's confirmed that development on the game is going smoothly, which is quite literally the first official development update we have had about this game since 2022. Now, does this mean he's telling us the truth? That's for you to personally decide. However, to come out and officially state that the development of the game is going well and that the game is alive would be a strange thing to say publicly just after your company has been bought and in an era where so many things are being cancelled. And for me, this whole situation raises some interesting questions.
I'll put my praying hands down. Oh, Lord. Maybe.
But simply working off of the foundation that Aspire built, or are they starting from scratch? Is the branding still the same? I mean, I find it very interesting that for the past few years they've refused to actually name the title in press releases and conferences. Perhaps they'll be making a remaster instead, which Saber are more known for, or perhaps they're doing something else. Did the massive success of Baldur's Gate, which has reinvigorated the turn-based CRPG genre into a massive global sensation, which KOTOR built the foundations for, have an impact on how they are viewing the title moving forward? So many things do remain to be seen. Now, for me, I know several years ago when they took the KOTOR remake from Aspire, they took everything they had made. This includes all the models, the environments, the voices. They assimilated much of the writing staff into Saber Interactive too, and so for that reason, I don't think they've started from scratch in the sense that the game went back into a kind of concept phase holistically. But with that said, I don't think the entirety of Saber Interactive's core studios are working on the game right now. I think the delay of Space Marine has affected that because those guys are clearly the ones that they would want working on this remake based on the quality of that game. But I think there are people working on the KOTOR remake, but I think production is probably slow, and there are pockets of groups around Saber Interactive as a whole that are contributing to the title. But I think full production will go full steam ahead once Space Marine has been released, or at the very least a few months prior. But that is complete conjecture on my part. Now, this could be a totally irrelevant point, but I do think the massive success of Baldur's Gate 3 has to be considered. Baldur's Gate 3 is the pinnacle of the Knights of the Old Republic formula. It took everything about those old-school turn-based RPGs that have kind of died over the past decade and became quite possibly the most critically acclaimed video game of all time.
A relevant question, but has anyone ever had a mega itchy bum where they had to rub it on a carpet doggy style? Brother man, that's not what doggy style means, but yeah, absolutely, dude. Like every Tuesday, I don't know what it is about Tuesdays, but it just makes my butt itch, you know what I'm saying? That's actually why I faked having a mental breakdown last night, Chad. I actually had to just go itch my bum on the fucking carpet back there, you know what I'm saying? Then since I'm allergic to the cats that I have, you know, my butt started to fucking flare up. Anywho, chat, real talk, when it's hot out, like real talk, when it's hot out, like balls be hanging low, do the bottom lips do the same? Are you talking about coochie lips? What the fuck? They don't, whoever asked that. Love having these streams in the background because I work on projects and come back to stuff like that. This is so crazy to fucking anybody watching this like reaction and conversation on YouTube. They're gonna be like, yo, this motherfucker paused way too much in the beginning, and now he's talking about like ball sacks and rubbing his ass on bare ass on shit. What the fuck am I listening to? Also, Sorrow, you are fine. Be as unhinged as you want.
And the thing is, the video game industry is a trend-based industry.
Dude,
they are
what's up,
always
homie?
chasing what's popular and what will make money. And if Saber were in a sort of precarious position where they were determining...
Oh, but yeah, back to what I was going to say. The reason why I paused this is I agree, dude. Baldur's Gate 3 definitely fucking, like, did a little bit to spark some fucking... some fucking light back into this fucking project, because Knights of the Old Republic is the OG version, pretty much. Like, not the OG version. I know there was more like turn-based RPGs, or I'm sure there was. I can't think of any. I don't know of any, right? Because I can't think of them off the top of my head. But that shit was the OG, and I think remaking it, especially right now, with how well or how popular Baldur's Gate 3 was, I think would be a very, very smart move.
How to move forward with what they wanted to do in regard to the KOTOR remake in a design sense, I really do think the success of Baldur's Gate 3 may have had an impact on where they wanted to go. And I know firsthand whether
if they're doing a full remake, they could really implement like a lot of new things and capitalize on some of the things that Baldur's Gate did well, you know?
or not you want to believe me, that the Knights of the Old Republic remake stylistically was very similar to something like the Final Fantasy VII remake. There was going to be a balance between turn-based gameplay and more hands-on hack-and-slash gameplay, let's call it. So perhaps there's a world where Saber have looked at this and gone, okay, let's remake the game visually, but change the combat to be something more like Baldur's Gate instead of Final Fantasy VII. Then, of course, there is the whole Sony debacle in all of this. It was Sony's disdain towards Aspire's KOTOR remake that caused it all to blow apart in the first place.
Yeah, fuck you, Sony.
They wanted the KOTOR
Yo,
remake
what's up,
to be
Lewis?
more cinematically aesthetic in line with their first-party studios, whereas Aspire was creating a very grand
Yo, what's up, Limbo?
in-scale RPG. But there are several industry insiders claiming that Sony are no longer involved with the remake, and I've heard a few rumors inside the
I don't care what it is about these streams, but honestly, I get so productive whenever I'm listening to them. Finally picked one of my writing work in progress is back up. Yo, let's fucking go, Omen. Glad that my dumbass saying "cummy wummy fart fart" can motivate you in some way.
industry
sorry.
myself,
Made
but
a
I
double
can't
tap.
confirm anything. But if Sony aren't involved, maybe they'll be given a little bit more creative freedom on the side of
Toby,
Saber
welcome back.
in regard to the whole design
Oh,
of the
bless
game.
up,
But
Bergie.
the truth is, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. I've been asked many times whether we'll end up seeing the game in some capacity this year. Maybe a new announcement trailer which is branded with Saber instead of Aspire. I mean, the title is still on Aspire's website, which is a little bit odd considering the two parties are no longer connected in any way, shape or form. But at this point, maybe we'll see something at the back end of the year, but my answer is to not expect it. But that is enough from me, because I'd love to know what you think about this
I don't think shit's coming until 2025.
official statement on the Knights of
That's my edge streak goal.
the Old Republic remake, and whether you're still on the bandwagon of the game being dead, or if this gives you a little bit of hope. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, it helps me out a great deal. And if you want to keep up with everything surrounding the Knights of the Old Republic remake, perhaps consider subscribing.
What's
And
up?
if you want more awesome KOTOR content, you should check this video out. It's an in-depth look into who Darth Nihilus was before KOTOR 2. I'll see you there.
This is some shit I would watch in my free time, for real, for real. What was the update? The company officially said that it is alive and well. It's alive and in development in the newly independent studio. Basically the one that got sold. That I was like, wait, they sold? So does that mean that the whoever is like independent now? Yes. Yes, they are. And that gave me a boner. Off topic, I'm still confused why so many people like Game Theory left YouTube. Oh, I think just to like pursue different passions and shit. Because like YouTube can burn you out really quickly. All right, I came and now I go. Good night, my friends. Have a good time with yourselves, whether it be with someone else or by yourself. I love you so much, Chrissy Wissy. Good night, chat. Yo, love you too, gangsta. Sleep well, Meg. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm excited. Again, I don't think we're getting shit about this game until 2025 minimum. 2025 minimum. But this gives me hope. it's like confirmed that it's actually alive, like, and they're working on it, which is cool. I will take that over it being dead, and I'm hopeful that it will be okay. I don't think anything can let me down as bad as Starfield let me down. So yeah,